So just last night, I was able to get my second run of the Mythic Storm King in. For those of you guys that don't know, if you ran it before reset yesterday, you were actually able to play it yet again. You are limited to one weapon per week, but in this case, I was actually able to get my second because I did play it before reset. I ended up getting the pistol, and that's the video that you're watching here. At first, I didn't think the pistol was anything special, but then I started testing it, and that quickly changed my mind. Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today I am so happy to bring you guys a weapon review on the Mythic Storm King pistol known as the Storm King's Onslaught in Fortnite Save the World. I'm honestly getting a little bit jittery here. This is my first ever Mythic weapon review, and the channel has been popping off thanks to you guys. We ended up hitting 80,000 subscribers, which is ridiculous. Thank you guys so much for the support. And the Twitch channel is about to get 20,000 followers. Just everything is going good right now, and I just want to thank you guys for that. I'm so happy to bring you guys this video, and I definitely have some good news, as this weapon is pretty great, as you guys saw in that intro. One thing I do want to mention before we jump into it is that my G Fuel code is 30% off. If you guys are looking for a fantastic way to support me, this is a company that has had my back for a long time, and I've been drinking it for going on about 2 years now. If you guys want to support me, code demonjoefr at gfuel.com for 30% off. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So yeah guys, today we're talking about the Mythic Storm King pistol, and this thing is a monster. I have to say, the hero loadout that I have for this weapon is unlike anything that I have ever used before, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. For those of you guys that live under a rock, yes, Mythic weapons are in the game. I personally now have the pistol and the sword. I will be coming out with a sword video very soon. The reason I do have this is because whenever the Mythic Storm King released on Wednesday morning, I finished it after the first few hours of it coming out. Later on that same day, the weekly reset happened for Save the World, where the weekly shop reset, and that means that all of the activities reset as well, including the Mythic Storm King. The Mythic Storm King is something you can run only once a week, and because of this, I was able to get 2 weapons, and one of which being the pistol in today's video. Of course, if you guys do want to run this, I made a whole video about it, and an entire video on my first ever completion, one of which is at like 60,000 views, the other one's at 20,000. Go check those out if you want the easiest possible way of defeating the Storm King. But let's go and talk about why you clicked on this video, the Mythic Storm King's Onslaught. This is the pistol that we're going to be reviewing today. It is quite the fantastic weapon. So let's go ahead and go over some perks, some loadout, and just some general things to talk about on the weapon. If you guys want to go and take a look at the weapon perks, these are what they look like. The unique ability that this weapon comes with is that it fires honing projectiles that seek out the target's head. Aiming down sights will increase the lock-on range from 4 tiles to 12, but decreases the fire rate by 50%. This will cause this pistol to basically be Phase Jarvis the pistol. It will aimbot the heads of any husk that is around you and go straight for that headshot, which is fantastic. You can go with crit damage, crit rating, and damage, and turn that physical into energy because you want to use this pistol as much as possible. Also, another notable thing about this weapon is that it actually has 25% crit chance to start out the weapon. So whenever you do have that 1 crit chance on there, or crit rating, you have 53% crit chance, which means that I'm not going to go with a totally rockin' out build because we don't need the extra crit chance on this weapon. What did I go with instead? The hero loadout I went with, and this is thanks to IM2 and Death Grip, is Beetlejuice in the Commander and Bio Energy Source in the Team perk. Now this is a really weird team perk, so let me explain it. The way that Bio Energy Source works is that the more energy you burn, the more shield you get. But why would you want this extra shield? Well, you have 2 heroes that are going to help you benefit from this a lot. You have the Unearthly Treat perk, which comes from the Swamp Knight hero, which is new to this update, and then Ow My Eye perk, which comes from Jonesybot. Now, both of these heroes are going to play perfectly into this loadout. Jonesybot is going to give you extra damage for any headshot that you get, which for the most part will be 100% of them. An Unearthly Treat, which comes from Swamp Knight, you guys can get this guy by playing 3 crypt missions. This is going to allow you to do exponentially more damage to anything that is a boss or a mini boss. That means that you are going to be getting insane amounts of damage on smashers, blasters, takers, flingers, anything that is a boss or a mini boss. You will be getting insane amounts of damage using Swamp Knight. And you're going to need both of these heroes because they give you more damage based off of the less health that you have. So this is why bioenergy source is going to matter. You're going to need to get your health low and then have bioenergy source to be able to keep your shield up. The best way to do this will be throwing down teddies and phase shifting. This will give you plenty of jolts of shield to keep you from taking damage to your health and causing you to die. This is the only loadout that I've ever suggested where you should lose your health, and it works perfectly. The other three is we have Mad Tidings and Startup. The more that you shoot the weapon, the more stacks of damage that you'll get. And the last one is Blaze of Glory. After you phase shift, you get 35% extra damage to pistols and SMGs. This plays perfectly into the Onslaught. I didn't go with Hipshot and I replaced him with Unearthly Treat, as Hipshot only gives 17% extra pistol damage, and I do feel as though the boss and mini boss damage from the Swamp Knight is much better. Those are the perks, and that is the loadout on this weapon. So let's just go ahead and talk about it, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this weapon in general. So if you do aim down the sights, like I said, it's going to reduce the amount of bullets that you were able to shoot at a time. It's going to reduce your fire rate. And I do have a smasher test of me using this, and you will see that the amount of damage I'm able to output is exponentially lower than the clip you saw at the beginning of the video. It's just going to take me a little bit longer to kill the smasher whenever I'm ADSing. So what's the point of even using it? Because whenever you hip fire, this thing shoots like a silent specter, so why even use the aim down sights? The reason you want to is because you have more headshot magnetism. That means that you are going to have a higher chance of getting that headshot. There's plenty of gameplay in the background where you guys are going to see me just aiming down my weapon and just shooting in the general direction of the husks, as my little bullets are going to seek out those husks and get them no problem. So it's a really good thing to use on trash mobs. Any mob that has low amounts of health, use your ADS on, and it gives you exponentially longer range as well. Now you want to use this hip fire for stuff like blasters that get up close, takers and smashers and all that kind of like. Especially if you have a big group of enemies that get close to you, it is an easy way to wipe them out. And do keep in mind that hip firing your weapon will also allow you to get those headshots, but they won't be as consistent as aiming down the sights. Another thing that should be mentioned is propanes. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking to yourselves that propanes may be a big issue with this weapon, as if it's automatically aiming for the head and you're shooting at a propane husky, well, it's going to ignite that propane, right? That is wrong. The way that this weapon works is that the projectiles that it shoots out don't even register with propane whatsoever. So even if there is a propane on the ground, there is no husks around you, and you are shooting directly at that propane, it will not explode whatsoever. So whenever you're shooting a propane husky, you have nothing to worry about. Your trap tunnels aren't going to explode. This is a weapon that you are 100% safe to shoot into a trap tunnel. So that's one thing that I really did like about this weapon. One thing you'll also notice is that this weapon does have an unlimited magazine. You will never have to reload it, and that's why Mad Tidings and Startup are really good for this, so that you can build your stacks of damage and never have to reload. The only time you're ever going to have to deal with overheating this weapon is if you hip fire it for too long. If you hold down the ADS and you actually aim down sights, you will not overheat this weapon for no matter how long you actually shoot it. So pretty interesting things there. Now there are, I believe, probably only two downsides to this weapon that I can think of, and I try to make this as neutral as possible. I don't just want to hype these up like they're, you know, the godsend, right? These still do have issues. There are some problems with these weapons, and you know, they're kind of minor. In the form of the Onslaught, the Storm King's Onslaught, the only problems that it has is two, and one of which is one that a lot of weapons suffer from. This weapon, it loses a lot of its usability at range if there are shielder husks. A bubble shield husk, you know, I can understand. It's not going to be able to pop it. You know, just like any weapon, you might as well switch to an obliterator or get close and use the hip fire. But if you are, you know, using it from far ways away, then you're not going to be able to pop that shield very well. But the normal shielder husks, which are the ones that shield the husks themselves only one at a time, the weapon does not prioritize those. So you will have a few lost shots going towards husks that are shielded by those shielder husks, and then it will end up targeting the actual shielder husk. That is one of the only downsides. The other downside is that this weapon eats up ammo ammo like crazy. It is practically the Terminator of energy ammo. So prepare to throw your nuts and bolts and throw your batteries at this weapon, because it will eat them for breakfast. The Onslaught, I mean, there's a reason it's called the Onslaught. You know, it's a pretty majestic weapon when used from far away, but when you get up close and you are bursting down groups of enemies, this weapon will nom on your energy ammo like crazy. It's pretty ridiculous, man. It's like a vegan and a piece of celery. It's just getting destroyed. So that's the only thing that I really have an issue with on this weapon, is the fact that it doesn't prioritize shielders and that it will eat your ammo alive. Those are the only negatives. Aside from that, the weapon's fantastic. It is a really good headshot build weapon. This is one of the only weapons out there that you want to use, and use heroes that prioritize headshots with. You know, it's got a fantastic rate of fire. It can burst down, you know, mist monsters with ease, and whenever it comes to any kind of enemies that are coming towards you and you're far away, you can snipe them and get headshots almost every single shot without any problem. The weapon's absolutely fantastic. I don't know if it's the best in the set, but it is literally FaZe Jarvis the pistol, and I highly suggest that you go check it out if you do end up, you know, defeating the Storm King. If you guys are still a little bit unsure on whether you can defeat him, I promise you, you absolutely can. I've done the fight 5 times now. I've been doing some carries, or at least I will be. I've personally been doing a lot of carries with my friends, but you know, I've already done like 5 runs now, and once you get it down, you got it down packed, and it's not too easy, but it's really fun. It's really enjoyable to play. If you guys are still, you know, unsure on whether or not you can beat it, go check out my 2 other videos. I had my first ever completion, if you want to see the whole activity in action, and then I got another video going step by step, weapon by weapon, loadout by loadout, tip by tip, on how to defeat the Mythic Storm King. If you're interested in that, check out my most recent videos. But thank you guys so much for watching. I am so happy to finally review a Mythic weapon, and I hope you guys did enjoy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did like it, dislike if you did not. Subscribe if you're new, as I really hope to get 100,000 before the end of the year. I don't think it'll happen though, but that would be really dope. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.